All right, we are going to look at the reading comprehension because this is something new that we're starting for the next 10 days. So if you look at it, this is all about problem and solution. So look at what it says a problem is. A problem is a conflict between two or more characters, a character in nature, or a character and herself or himself. All right, so you can have an internal conflict, a conflict that you have with yourself. You can have a conflict with somebody else, or you can have a conflict with something that's going on in the world. These are usually found at the beginning of the story. Usually you have the problem first and then the solution later on. The solution is the way in which the problem is solved, and this is usually found at the end of the story. So, signal words include words like for problem, issue, or conflict. You can also have words like answer, solve, solution, or resolution. All right, and a story can have more than one problem and more than one solution. Sometimes there'll be major problems, sometimes it'll be a bunch of little problems. It can really be a span of things. All right, so we have the passage, A Mess with the Minivan, and I'm going to go ahead and read it to you, and then we'll go through all 6 of these together for the first time, and then that way you kind of have a good idea about what to do on the ones coming up. So it says, Nathan's mom drove a minivan. She took care of it, but it always seemed to have issues. Look, here's one of our key words, issues. One day, Nathan was in the car with his sister while his mom drove them to visit some cousins. To get to their cousin's house, they had to cross a bridge. The bridge always had traffic, but that day was worse than normal. It seemed that there was a car accident that was causing traffic. Nathan was frustrated, but more so, he was concerned about the people in the accident. He hoped they were okay. All of a sudden, Nathan's mom said, "Oh no!" Everyone looked out the front window to see smoke rising from the hood of the car. Nathan's mom quickly turned the car off and jumped out. She opened the hood and the kids watched more smoke rising into the air. Nathan's sister began crying. So we have another problem right here. If you think about it, what's a major problem? Smoke coming out of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and underline that also. As they sat in the broke-down car, Nathan's mom called family members for help. She then called for a tow truck. She assured her children that they were safe and help was on the way. When the accident was cleared off the bridge, traffic began moving again. Nathan, his sister, and his mom waited in the car for family to arrive. All right, so they kind of have another problem. They're waiting for somebody to come pick them up. All right, but they also kind of have a solution to the car being broken down at this point because now they are waiting on a tow truck. So the tow truck is going to help them with the car smoke. The family is going to help them get where they need to go. Thankfully, the family members arrived in another vehicle that was big enough for Nathan, his sister, and his mom to ride in. Their minivan had to be towed to the shop because it was not able to be driven. They still enjoyed their visit with their cousins, and they were thankful for helping hands. Hang on one second. Do you need that? All right, so they had a few problems and solutions listed there. So underline the main problem in red. So what is the biggest problem? The problem that led to all of the other things. If you don't have red, I'm just going to circle it, so that's fine too. But the problem seems to be that the car always seemed to have issues. All right, and they talk about that in the first paragraph. The first paragraph tells us that the car always has issues. Everything that happens in the rest of the story has to do with the car having an issue. So that's going to be our major problem. All right, underline the main solution in green. All right, so the main solution was having the tow truck towed. All right, because it broke down. All right, and someone picking them up. So you kind of have two problems here. You have the fact that they're trying to get somewhere and they can't. And so that has to be solved. And then you also have the problem of the car breaking down, so that problem has to be solved. All right, which of the following statements is true? Circle the statement that is true. So true means that it's real. All right, so A, Nathan was embarrassed about the car breaking down in traffic. B, Nathan's sister helped her mom solve the problem while on the bridge. C, Nathan's mom does not take care of her car. Or D, Nathan cares about other people. I'm definitely going to go with D, Nathan cares about other people, because it even says right here, Nathan was more worried about, he hoped everybody in the car was okay. And then he helped his sister when she started crying. And they waited patiently. Find the part of the story that shows that Nathan's mom knows how to take care of her family. Circle the sentence. Well, how do we know? 1, she knows her car's not going to work, so she calls a tow truck. And she calls somebody from their family to come pick them up. So in paragraph 4, it has all of these solutions. So I would just write paragraph 4 right there. 5, what other problems exist in the story? All right, so we have a few. 1, they can't go see their family. Or they need a ride there. The back door is open. All the stuff's going to blow away. Traffic on the bridge. And needing a ride. What problem did the family members solve at the end of the story? So the problem that was solved at the end of the story is that they were able to still visit their family. They had a vehicle big enough to pick everyone up. So that is the problem that is solved at the end of the story. The next video will be all about math.